Hi. So, I wanted to take a moment and talk to you and let you know that, contrary to popular belief, it's okay not to be okay. You don't have to be strong. You don't have to sound like, oh my God, I'm glad when this is over, because everyone else is sounding like that. You don't have to do that. Again, it's okay not to be okay. I mean, seriously, we went from the world we were living into our lives to this sci-fi movie overnight. Sci-fi movie for real. And every day, if it's not the president, then it's the mayor, or it's the governor, or it's someone else that comes on to our TV and bombards us with the situation at hand. So maybe turn the TV off. Trust me, believe me, you could turn that TV off. You'll still get the news. It's going to come through Facebook. It's going to come through family. It's going to come through friends. It's going to come through Instagram and Twitter. And every now and then, an emergency alert on your phone. But just take a breather from having it steadily there by watching TV. Find something else to do. If you've always wanted to draw, go get some pencil and paper and sketch and draw. If you have been wondering about that book inside of you since I'm dropping stuff. But anyway, since the common belief is that there's a book inside of each of us, as someone who has published a couple of books, I'm not to save that for another cast, but for now, we're going to say there's a book inside of each of us. And so you have an opportunity to pick up a pen and some paper or keyboards. I'm a hard copy girl, pen and paper all the way for me. But put words down. Even if it's a poem, write a haiku. Do you know how hard it is to write a haiku? Well, write a haiku. Write a letter. Write a letter to yourself. Write a letter to God, to Allah, to the Buddha, to Zeus. I don't know. Whatever you believe in, it's fine. Write a letter to that person and get out what it is that you're feeling. I don't really know what I intended to come on here and say to you. I just keep seeing on social media people who are asking for hope, even if they don't know that that's what they're doing. And people seem to be afraid. And they're like, is this the end? Are we living in the rapture? Is it about to happen? And I remember reading something years ago that said, each generation is arrogant enough to believe that it'll be the last generation. And so those words keep me from thinking this will be the last generation. I think maybe that we're at a catalyst in that the history that we're living right now, because it will become history, that we're living right now is going to start something new, something different, something better. And all we have to do is hold on until it gets here. The coronavirus is terrifying. And there are those who are like, oh, it's the media heaping it up. It's not as scary as everybody's making it seem to be. Get yourself what you have to. But for me, it's a scary thing. And I've accepted the fact that it is okay not to be okay. But you can't stay there. So, in the morning when you get up, if you're one of those people who oddly make up a bed, even though you're going to get right back in it, make up your bed. Go through your whole morning routines. Have your cup of coffee, or in my case, cocoa. Sit out on your porch. Sit on the couch. Listen to some music. Meditate. Do something that clears your mind. And I would say give yourself 24 hours of no coronavirus. Someone tries to talk to you about it, I have 24 hours where I don't have to think about the coronavirus. I don't have to think about sickness, death, my mortality. Let them know that. It's okay not to be okay. And since when I'm listening to all of everything and it's on me, I'm not okay. So I get to have 24 hours where I am okay. I get 24 hours of normal or relatively close to it. I get 24 hours to write a story, to write a poem, to listen to music and dance around my living room, paint my toenails, soak in a tub, read a book, cook dinner, spring clean, make videos. But I guess one of my our main purposes of creating the video is because I wanted to come and tell you that you are not the only one. Right now, regardless to what we say or what we do or how we're trying to blow it off, we are all afraid. And if anyone tells you, I'm not scared, they're lying. I'm not scared because I got Jesus. Plenty of us have Jesus. It is still not stopping you from being afraid. And people are like, no, but if you knew God, you wouldn't be afraid. If you knew God, you might be. Did anybody read the First Testament? I'm just saying, the Old Testament, that one. And God's in control. You ain't got to be afraid. God was in control when Noah built that ark. God was in control when Lot's wife did this. God was in control when those seas had to be parted. So just you can't make people try to feel bad with that. Because if you really trusted, you wouldn't be scared. No, you probably should. But what I'm saying, you don't have to be afraid. It's okay not to be okay. Because none of this is okay. We've been sentenced to our homes. And that could be a scary thought. Especially for people who live alone. People who don't have too many friends to begin with. And being told you have to go home and the time frame keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. It probably keeps getting scarier and scarier and scarier. So, again, I want to let you know that you are not alone. You're not the only one who's afraid. You're not the only one who's living in a sci-fi movie right now. Oh my God. And it is okay not to be okay. Just find something for the next 24 hours that you can do that does not involve the coronavirus. Of course, you're going to be in your house. Just don't go running all outside going, Yolanda told me to. Don't. That's not what I'm saying. Don't go out there. Find something in your home that you can do that pleases you, that brings a smile to your face, and get lost in it for 24 hours. Okay? You have a deal? You gonna do it? Okay. I'm gonna trust you to do it. Until then, though, remember that this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Nothing has ever happened or come to pass that didn't eventually pass. This too shall pass.